What is going on, people? Back with another video, and today I want to talk about a wide receiver that Atlanta is looking at and what this means for the passing game, if anything, that goes along with the Atlanta Falcons offense. And also, I'm gonna talk about what does this receiver can bring to the table and how he reminds me of another receiver that we already have on the roster, and production can be very similar to that receiver as well. We're going to get into that. Also, we're going to talk about our defensive player of the week. And I'm going to give you a little bit of insight about Josh Rosen and what has been said about him in the recent 24 to 48 hours. Welcome to the First Time Frame Rates channel. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Atlanta Falcons. We also talk about the Georgia Southern Eagles over here. You see today I have on my Atlanta Braves hat on. Awesome. Those guys split a game in Houston. They're coming back to Atlanta for 3 games. And that's pretty much the best outcome you can have in that situation, to split a game and come home with home field advantage. The very best situation was to win both games, but I digress. You know, we can't win them all, but we're in very good shape. Let's go ahead and get into this. Corey Coleman, former first round pick from Baylor back in 2016, was suspended 6 games last year for violating the performance enhancing drug policy, which, you know, I think a good bit of that is kind of out of the way, and I think you don't get suspended for certain drugs now, but, you know, that's another story. He had been with the New York Giants, and he hasn't played a game since 2018. But since he's not suspended anymore because the 6 games have passed, Atlanta Falcons decided to take a spin on him and actually give him a look. I think he can be fairly productive. I mean, he's not that bad. I mean, his rookie season, it was pretty good. He had 413 yards and 3 touchdowns over 10 games. And, you know, he had a little bit of issue with the Cleveland Browns because that's who he got drafted by. And he wanted to get a trade and he wanted to get up out of there, which ended up going to Buffalo, and then Buffalo cut him. Then he ended up going to the Patriots, then went to the Giants. He's been a little bit all over the place. I don't know what the deal is with him in these teams. You know, maybe he has an issue with front offices, so that's kind of a red flag right there. You may not want to take a spin on him because of this, but something that Arthur Smith does is, you know, is very good, and nobody really talks about it as much. His eye for talent and the way he commands his team is showing very well. And, you know, you've seen him bring players in and they end up being fairly decent players. You know, they turn around and, you know, they actually had some, you know, progress. So I don't know. This is probably a little bit of a big task for him with the substance abuse and, oh, I ain't gonna say substance abuse. That's where I do apologize. Let me retract that. The performance enhancing that he used, and also him moving around from certain teams, it doesn't kind of bode well. But this is going to be a tall task for Arthur Smith. Maybe he knows something we don't know. Obviously, he does. I mean, he's a football coach, but we'll see how that plays out. As far as him, if he actually gets on the team and actually was able to produce, I can possibly see a lot of Tajay Sharp in him. I can see him probably catching a few clutch catches every now and then, actually being productive and not necessarily taking a step back to what we already have at wide receiver. I mean, you already see what Kyle Pitts is doing. You already see what Cordell Patterson doing. Even Calvin really stepped up in the last game. So we are on the right track as far as moving the ball in the passing game. I mean, even Russell Gage came in and stepped up and got a pretty good catch for a touchdown. So we are in pretty good position as far as passing. Adding more pieces does not hurt. We'll see what happens. Realistically, he'll probably end up on the practice squad if they was to look at him, and he'll probably just sit there for a minute, and I don't see him coming in and make an impact right away. But if he does, I see a lot of Tajay Sharp in him. That's just my opinion, and we'll see how that goes. Shout out to the defensive player of the week, NFC Defensive Player of the Week, Deion Jones. Had a phenomenal game against the Dolphins. 15 total tackles, 3 QB hits, 1 sack. You can't ask for more production there. It was something that we was kind of worried about with Deion Jones because he's been fairly quiet throughout the year. Kind of woke up a little bit. Maybe that starts a trend to where that he's going to be able to produce more. Also, you already had a situation with Dante Fowler being out, so somebody had to step up, and it seemed like Deion Jones was that guy. Good to see him do some things. It's also really nice to see him do things in the trenches like this because he's more like a hybrid, but you mostly see him doing more coverage than what you see on the stat sheet. So this is really good that to have somebody on the team that could be so versatile, that could do so many things at once. Even though you can see him being more of a cover linebacker because of his speed, you actually see him getting at the quarterback, hit the quarterback 3 times, 15 total tackles. So he's been doing some things. I know there's one clip out here getting his ankles broken by Tua, but hey, it's going to happen to some people. I mean, it is what it is. But nevertheless, he helped us get a win, and he got Defensive Player of the Week, and that's pretty cool. We love to see that. Now, let's talk about Josh Rosen. Why did I put Josh Rosen on this? Josh Rosen has been getting some praise, everybody, believe it or not. Offensive coordinator Dave Ragone said, I think I said that right, Ragone said that when the team signed Josh Rosen, some people were like reaching out to him to talk about the positive vibes he will bring. And I think Josh Rosen has just been getting a bad rap. But the thing about this is they said that he has been doing really well with the scout team. He's been running the scout team. He helps Matt Ryan prepare, and he prepares himself. So he's doing a really good job as a backup quarterback. I think one thing about backup quarterbacks that a lot of people don't really look at and don't think about, they're kind of like with the scouts team a little bit more than the starting quarterback, obviously. So he can see some things that the starting quarterback may not see. So it's more like he's assisting with whatever QB1 needs, and it seems like that is a pretty good trait to have when you have a fairly smart quarterback that can do these type of things. So it's good to see him step up, and it looks like he basically took the job of number 2 from Felipe Franks, even if it was up for grabs. So I thought that was pretty cool, and it's good to see Josh Rosen not only learning but showing that he could be an asset as well, because it's one thing to be a backup and just soak everything in. It's another thing to actually contribute as well and add your 2 cents and be an asset in that sense, because at some point, let's say if Josh Rosen has to come in the game, with him having a rapport with the scouts and having a rapport with the offensive coordinator and QB1, it could be a very smooth transition, knowing what to do when it's time to run plays and run some calls and maybe even audibles. You already have some type of rapport and chemistry with everybody on offense because you've been doing a pretty good job running the scouts and showing what type of asset you can be. Like I said, he's running the scout team. He helped prepare Matt, and he prepares himself. So he's helping in a bigger way than most QB2s that you don't really hear about. So that's pretty neat. So overall, the Falcons are going in a really good direction, and good to see them go up against the Panthers at a really good time, because we don't have a home win yet. So this will be a great time to get one, and it look like how everything is flowing. The injuries are starting to clear up. Players are starting to, get healthy. The team is starting to gel a little bit. I didn't even mention Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is looking really good right now, and just the offense itself is doing good. I think the only thing that we really need to work on, we need to tighten up a little bit better on defense, because we should have had this game well in hand against the Dolphins. Also, I think we should be able to run the ball a little bit more. We need to find a way to run the ball more with the offensive line getting better, which is another aspect. The offensive line has not been giving up any sacks. They've been protecting very well. If they can get some run blocking under their belt as well, I think we could be a really good team in this division and probably cause some noise in the NFC, which some people may think is a far-fetched take, but I wouldn't be surprised if you look around. You got a few teams that are looking really good, but the Falcons, if they play sound football, they could be there with anybody else, and that'll be something exciting to see here in Atlanta. If you like this video, hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Once again, thanks everybody who's been watching the latest videos when I talk about the Sun Belt expansion. Everybody from the college football realm has been doing a great job of supporting, giving their 2 cents about the expansion and about the rivalry week of Georgia State and Georgia Southern. I'm not going to do a pregame on that. If you want to catch, I basically did a pregame on the First and Frame Rate show, which I did. I just done my latest upload. You can also catch that on iTunes, Spotify, Spotify and Anchor Podcast or Podcast Addict. Go check that there. Also, I will be doing a pregame to the Panthers game with my next upload. So hopefully you guys will check that out. Like I said, subscribe to the channel and you can hit that that notification bell so you will know when I upload a video. All right, guys, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for the support. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys on Patreon as well. You guys are great. I can't thank you guys enough. And I will see you guys on the next one. All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Peace.